Present.
Member Brooks?
Present.
Member Ciaccio?
Chacho. Chacho.
Chacho, thank you. Member Grenier?
Present.
Member Jensen? Absent. Member Martino?
Here.
And Vice Chair Hamburg.
Here.
Thank you.
I'll lead us in the pledge. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, before we start with number 2, I thought we could just go around with the committee members and do introductions since we have 2 new members, so everyone kind of knows who everyone is.
Great idea.
Great. Max, do you want to start?
Oh, I'll start. Max Hamburg. I have Solvang Shoe Store and been here for 56 years.
Am I next?
Well,
Which one?
Go ahead, Shannon. We'll go back around.
Shannon Brooks, and I'm a new member, and I have been in the travel and tourism industry for over 20 years. I mean, got my career started at Visit Santa Barbara 20 years ago. And I was about a year and a half ago back in the Valley and living in St. Ed's, and delighted to be part of this.
welcome. Thank you. Do you know Cheryl? Have you guys worked together before? Okay.
Yeah, passed across many different times.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
I'm Christina Chacho, and I have a marketing agency in the area, and I also have a store in San Ynez. I've been in the Valley for 2 years.
What's the store?
It's called Mindful Horse USA.
Mindful?
Mindful Horse USA.
I'm Alex Grenier. I'm a junior at Dunn High School around here, and I work part-time for Tracy at the Chamber of Commerce.
Tracy?
I'm Tracy Beard. I'm the Executive Director at Chamber of Commerce. Been here for 20 years in Solvang.
And I'm John Martino. I've been in the hospitality, hotel, restaurant business for the since 1980, about 40 years in Solvang.
You know Cheryl, or Cheryl?
No. Wait, what?
Introduce you. You're part of the group
Oh.
too, right?
Well, yeah, so.
And I don't bet you
okay.
she knows you.
I think that I've given them a little bit of a
Okay,
background, but
okay.
I'm marketing manager here with the city, started about 5 weeks ago. This position is new to the city, so really with a focus on tourism. So, yeah.
And I'm Anna Marie Porter, and I'm the city clerk. I'm here to learn.
Great.
Just a quick reminder to everybody, a couple new people, the microphones are up there, so just project, speak loudly, and if you two could use that
Right,
microphone,
okay.
you'll hear you a lot better.
Thank
Thanks.
you, sir.
Is there a motion to approve the consent items as they are presented?
I'll make a motion to approve them.
And I'll second it.
Any discussion on the consent items? All right. All approve? Do we do a roll call or all approve? Aye. Opposed? Good.
Motion
Public-
passes 6-0.
Public communications, not on the agenda today. Are we getting slips?
We have no slips.
Have no slips? Anybody care to speak on items not on the agenda?
We check on Zoom as well.
Sorry, forgot about that. Anybody out in Zoom land
No.
wish to speak on,
No one.
No.
Thank
Okay.
you.
discussion items, discussion to select tourism advisory committee chair.
So a little history and background. So on September 1st, at the last TAC meeting, city manager announced that member Cheryl Schallenberger accepted the marketing manager position, and then another resignation with the committee member, leaving 2 vacancies open. On September 12th, council member Clark appointed Christina, and on September 26th, council member Arona appointed Shannon. So that filled the 2 vacancies. I was serving as the chair, so that now leaves that position open. So I think it's up for discussion amongst the members to determine the chair.
I'll take the chair if nobody else wants it.
Okay,
Sounds like a great plan.
Great plan.
Favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
There's been some discussion. No discussion. Anybody else? Nobody else jump forward and grab it?
Too new.
Darn it.
No, Kim's not here, so you guys
You're already
can.
sitting here.
Okay.
Anyone in the audience want to speak to this? Seeing none? No one on Zoom?
All right.
Motion passes 6-0.
so then we need a vice chair as well.
I would think so.
Yep.
So I can leave and they can take over.
Yeah.
Anybody,
I'll volunteer myself. I know, I mean, I understand if people, have some objections just because I'm the youngest person here, but I feel like I've been here since the beginning, so I know the, workings of the committee, pretty well. I've been to, I think, pretty much almost every meeting, and I feel like I could serve in the position, but, yeah.
Second that nomination?
any discussion on this nomination? Sure you want to take it? Anybody out in the audience? Seeing none? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Carries
6-0.
6-0, yeah.
Excellent, great.
Discussion to approve Abbey Agency's 2022 Eula Fest logo options.
Yep, so we'll go ahead and get Connie if she needs to share the screen, but just to give a quick little history, having the Abbey Agency and myself start, we were given no files, assets, binders, folders, anything on previous Yule Fest, so we've kind of had to start from scratch, so that being we needed a new branding,
Just out
so.
of curiosity, did you contact the old agency?
So
Anybody from
they were, 2 weeks ago, they said that they were sending something via UPS. We've still not received anything. I've asked for a tracking number and 0 response.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, on to
Somebody
Connie.
up there?
All right, can everyone hear me?
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. So as Cheryl mentioned, our team set forth to take the inspiration that we received last month, hearing about all the phenomenal things coming to Yule Fest. This year, we took that into consideration. We looked at the landing page that existed, as well as the 2 Facebook pages that had existed, to look at what types of communication and brand for communication around Yule Fest had existed. And our team took that in and decided to develop 2 different unique concept ideas that we felt could work with Yule Fest for years to come. It seems that the brand has changed a little bit over the years, and so we wanted to provide something that we felt was unique to Solvang and drew upon their history, but also could continue to be updated and evolve into the future. You'll notice that as we get into these concepts, they do include the dates. However, we can provide the working files to the city so that dates can be updated for future years, or our team can provide them, or at certain times we can remove the dates. However, since it's coming up so quickly this year, we wanted to share the dates and make sure that that was front and center for everyone. So there's 2 concepts, and I don't know if we'll want to vote or provide feedback as to which we want to move forward to. So the first concept has an image in the background of Solvang, and it highlights very much the different events that you'll see. The font style is script style here. The colors are a orange, red, as well as green, very much focused on the whole season, from Thanksgiving all the way through that first Monday of January. So this is the first option. Again, this is something that we could change the years out for the future, remove some of these, and just focus on Solvang Yule Fest if we wanted to have it not include the year. You'll notice that the logo is included. Solvang is in the name. We want to make sure that we're really drawing attention to the place as well as the event title of Yule Fest. And then the second, this is kind of what that looks like if it were to stand alone, if we wanted to print or put this on Facebook as an image, or if we wanted to put this on stickers, different things like that. That's kind of what it looks like without anything. And then the second option is playing a bit more on the logo already, and it pulls out the windmill and it highlights that with very Christmas and festive colors, adds some festivity to the windmill itself. You'll see again the top here says Solvang and it includes the name, and then this font is it has a bit more structure to it versus script. Very red and bright. So again, two different possible options for this as far as what the ads could look like themselves. And then here is what that looks like on its own. And I think that we kind of have these side by side as well here.
So yeah, I would love to have feedback, thoughts, and maybe even approve one, since I feel like we're already kind of behind on getting some of this stuff.
Well, I'll speak up. I love the Yule Fest, the concept 2.
Okay.
I love that script. It's just
Yeah.
the whole thing needs to be softened up a little. Like the red on the concept 1. It's just a little softer. I love the windmill. I love the script. I think it's much more Danish than the other one in my eyes.
Yeah.
But it's just so stark. I don't know how you can soften things up in it. Like the concept 1 is a lot softer in the background. I think the background is what. That's my only comment. But I like the logo of concept 2 much more than concept 1.
What if we did our Danish blue in the concept number 2? Because that's the one I liked, but it didn't. We're trying to go with this blue thing on everything to brand, so we should have used our branding thing.
I know it's not a lot of time, but
Yeah.
we haven't had a lot of time to look at this either, so.
No.
And it's coming quick, so I don't know how long it takes for you to make some minor adjustments or.
We could absolutely play with color if we like the font and we wanted to add blue color in. We could play around with that quickly.
And maybe soften the windmill too.
And then soften the windmill, yes.
That's my input.
And I think if we have a concept that we can pick this year, we can always revise it kind of
Yeah.
in the following build.
Yeah.
We'll have something to start with, so.
Yeah, if this is the right direction and we want to just refine for future years, absolutely.
And then I agree with the second concept as well. And then if you, in my opinion, I would bring in some of the events that you have listed on the first concept, because like he was saying, it's very stark and you don't really know what's actually happening and what we should come and visit.
Yeah.
Versus the first one, it's Santa in the park, the tree lighting ceremony, the parade. So that's what I would do. And then
Yeah, absolutely. I think that we could do where it has the green banners near the windmill. We could soften that up and just list some of the events on either side to help make those pop. And we could put dates next to the events, and Cheryl and I have been working on a list of all of the different assets that we'll need. So, a program, a flyer was one of those, so we'll want to list out some key events. And this windmill, we could have 2 columns events, so we could list more, I think, than in concept 1.
Okay, keep this moving. Anybody else have any thoughts?
I like the vintage vibe of concept 2, and I would just say lose those banners. I think that kind of distracts, and what you're saying you were going to do with the event listings would take care of it.
Okay, so we need a motion to. pick-
Public comment?
Oh, yeah.
I have a couple of concerns with both.
Can you stand up, Lisa?
Yeah.
Stand up?
Yeah.
Back
Sorry,
up
I
there
think the mic
to
can
the-
pick me up.
And Connie, I'll repeat anything if
they're
you
both-
need questions.
Okay.
They're both gorgeous. I just think the 2 issues that I have are, one, I would be concerned that the second one is the one I gravitate towards, but is that font a Solvang font? Is that a font that we already use for the the city of Solvang, because if it's not, maybe we should consider using that. That makes me feel like I'm going to an Oktoberfest. So something about that font says German rather than Danish. The other thing is Yulefest, the whole concept, the whole premise is soft, like Max had said, to soften it up a little bit. But Yulefest is about hygge, it's about coziness, it's about warmth. And neither one of those gives me that kind of soft, cozy, warm Christmas feel. So if there's a way that we can make some sort of adjustment on either style to soften it just a little bit and make it feel a little more cozy.
Any other public comment?
Robert comment. Hi, Robert Clark. It's interesting that you said that because the first thing that popped in my mind when I looked at the logo on the right reminded me of a poster you'd see in Berlin in the 1930s. That's what I thought about the minute I saw it. So I think that's a little hard too. More Danish maybe.
Anybody else have comments?
No, I agree with that. I like the second poster, but I like the Concept 1 font better. It's definitely something I've seen before, and like materials in Solvang. So it's, I think you could definitely soften the image of the Concept 2 by adopting the Concept 1 font and then toning down the colors a little bit. They jump out a little bit too much, and then bringing in the events, as was mentioned. I think that would improve Concept 2.
Anybody out in Zoom land have anything to say? Comments?
No.
So, sorry? Go ahead.
Susan Lee. I agree with, what Lisa said and Councilman Clark on the Yulefest. It does look like Oktoberfest, totally.
Yeah.
I don't think it looks Christmassy. So, and I do like, Tracy's thoughts on making sure we bring in the logo, the Solvang logo too, which I think you can still have the blue, you know, with the logo. We worked so hard to pick the colors and still make it Christmassy, because there's the little trees there, but it doesn't, I think and it may be the font, because it does say Oktoberfest rather, to me, in the font too, rather than Christmas. And I do agree, I kinda like the font next to it, but yeah, I think I agree with you talking about the fonts that we use, you know. I think it's good if we keep branding Solvang, if we stay on our same, kind of in the same vicinity. But I do think if we can make it a little more Christmassy looking as well as using the branding that we already have.
And can you introduce yourself real quick?
I said I was Susan Lee.
Oh.
And I run the visitor center here in town. And I'm a member, I'm on the Yulefest committee.
So, okay, it sounds like Abby has a little more work to do.
Yes.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't know how quickly you can turn it around and send it out to us, or we can't wait to another meeting.
No, we
Yeah.
cannot.
Or
So,
do we pick one today, or can we work on that?
It sounds like we're maybe the committee was leaning towards Concept 2 while softening it, looking at a font that is more Danish and integrating blue, and perhaps make it more festive. Maybe there is bells and holly, so we could work on proportions as well to make some of those stand out more, and then come back to Cheryl with an option or two and then send it out to the committee.
I don't know.
Maybe a night sky with twinkly lights or something.
we don't have time to bring this to another meeting, so.
Could the Yule
So-
Fest subcommittee review it?
Can we do it by email? Is that it?
No, Abby has received, adequate direction. Because of the timing, it would be important for you to give that general direction. They would then refine that and bring it to Cheryl.
Okay.
And then that would go forward to the next council meeting for approval.
Do we need a movement or a motion to pick Concept 2 modified, or?
I think at this
we
point,
got enough?
it's general direction.
Okay, then you have your direction.
Great.
On to the next.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you, Abby. So they're going to continue reporting for the month of September. Back to Connie.
Okay, all right, back to me. Let me share my screen again. Okay, so we wanted to provide a quick update of September efforts. Social media, this includes, based upon the reporting date of this being the first week of October and when we had to get the packet in, we did combine August and September numbers to show kind of a 2-month trend. And this shows the previous to the last 2 months comparison. So on Instagram, we had 69,000 impressions on the Solvang USA Instagram, which is increased by 128%. We had 6,200 new engagements and then 1,400 new followers, which is a 4.6% increase, which is much higher than the industry standard. We have been using a boosting budget to help target new fans and new potential followers. So we've been taking our posts and we're boosting them to lookalike audiences of our current audience so that we can attract more followers to the page. We're really excited to see this initial growth, and we'll continue to invest in this tactic and strategy to grow our Instagram following. Engagements are great, 6,000. What that means is that people are liking and commenting on the posts. And if you scroll through Instagram, I think you'll see that on the Solvang USA posts, a lot of likes and comments lately. Twitter, the impressions went down slightly over the past 2 months. That just happens over time. We are going to change the posting time of day to help improve that impressions. So we've gone a little bit later in the afternoon with all of our posts on Twitter, and we'll continue to monitor that over the next 2 months. Engagements are up though, so what that indicates is of the content we're putting out there, people like it and are engaging with it more. So we're hoping, as I mentioned, by moving posts later in the day, we'll be serving it to the right audience, more impressions and more engagements. New fans and followers, a huge increase there, percentage-wise. So again, that's probably mostly driven by a lot of that engagement growth. So that's great. It means that it's high quality content going out. Social media highlights. I hope you all have been watching on Instagram. We have been doing a lot of partnerships with organizations such as Visit California, as well as influencers and content creators. So what that means is they're putting out videos. We are sending a collaboration request. So those videos post on our channel and it's shared from Visit California and Solvang USA's page. These have been happening on Instagram over the past 2 months, and they've led to, in total, 2.6 million plays and 81,000 likes, which is a lot. What I really like about seeing this engagement on Instagram Reels is we've had 55,000 saves and 60,000 shares. So that's 60,000 people who've hit the share button and sent this video to someone else. And then 55,000 people who've saved that video so that they can look at it again. All of those are great and really indicate interest in the destination, desire to travel. And so, yeah, here's some of those videos that have specifically had really high engagement. This one was an influencer who highlighted unique towns in California, and she had 2 million plays. This video was one that our team shot while we were there in August, and it's just a view of the street, and it had almost 24,000 plays. Again, this one as well, that one that had 12,000 there. So it's really exciting to see people engaging in the architecture, the culture, and see these Instagram Reels perform very, very well for Solvang. Public relations, I'll talk on this. This is for September, 5 different placements, 3 national and 2 regional. We sent out a press release focusing on fall events, including Danish Days, Scarecrow Fest, and Yule Fest. That had 1,300 release views, so that's great. That really helped us identify media that were interested. These are media blogs that picked that release up about fall events. So that's great. And then we had a placement we worked on highlighting Danish days with the points guy. 32,000 reach on that. So that was great early in the month. Again, a further local regional placement focusing on Danish days here, a broadcast placement. Best Life, they're an online travel blog, and they highlighted 10 cities that'll make you think you're in Europe, and Solvang was on that list. Over 100,000 reach there. And then there's a coverage book link that has all future releases, or all placements as well that we're tracking. Digital experience, we've shown you this before, but as Cheryl mentioned, we have not received many files, and so that delayed our advertising launch in September. We are still not able to access the solvangusa.com homepage in order to make the logo update. We have requested those files and initiated a transfer from Tempest to gather those files and put them on our server so that we can make that update. We asked for it a few weeks ago and have not received it yet, so we followed up this week and I'll follow up again. Cheryl and I do have another direct contact with Tempest that we met with yesterday, so we will continue to follow up so that we can update the website. We have moved forward, though, with a workaround, and we will be creating a new homepage that will live on a subdomain. I will try not to be too technical, but essentially in our ads, we will direct people to a website that says visit.solvangusa.com. And when somebody, they'll be on this page, and this page scrolls down and has things to do in Solvang, how to get to Solvang, events in Solvang. And when they click on something like book a hotel, and where to stay, events, it'll link them to the solvangusa.com. So what this homepage or landing page does, it allows the individual who sees one of the ads to come to a landing page that has the same look and feel of the ads that they saw, but then once they click in, they will go to the Solvang USA website. Our hope is that this is just a temporary fix and we're able to access those files and update the website. But we want to also get the ads live, so we felt like this was a really good workaround so that somebody had updated information about Solvang, a web page they can interact with that reflects the new brand before just sending them to the current website.
Can I ask a question? Cheryl, who's got control of this page?
The Solvang USA website?
Yeah, how far back does this go?
What do you mean?
To IDK?
So the Solvang USA was the CVB.
Right.
Then there was minimal, from what I can gather, there was minimal management by IDK and then Cogs and Marvel.
But they have access to the homepage, Cox and Marvel / IDK?
So we now have access. We were getting the runaround from Tempest. I actually had to meet with them face to face to be like, help us. What she's saying is that we can't update the homepage is because it's a very old website, and it's actually basically, for them to change it, it's like a new website. It's just hard-coded. It's not an easy update and simple. So it's very difficult to update.
Tempest is the server that it's sitting on.
Correct, yes. And the backend system.
IDK has access to that.
They should not have access to anymore. We have access to it. So I'm now able to go and make updates to the events calendar and all that. So yes, we have access, but it's just the fact that it's a very old site, and to make simple changes would cost a lot of money, to the point, is it better to go with something new in the future, or what are we spending it on? So this was the loop around that they got.
Thank you.
So I'll show, this is a test. This site isn't live for Google to find. This is on our development shell, but I'll just scroll through what that looks like. So you'll see that as you scroll down, it has a series of images that scroll through. It has things to do. It'll highlight key items. Again, this is just a test. We are updating the content and certain things featured here. Cheryl's provided us feedback on that. This will feature a scrolling list of hotels. Again, it's a test so that the image isn't loading here. And then we have getting to Solvang. Events and blogs, of course, will feature Yule Fest here. And then what will happen is if somebody was here and they said, oh gosh, I want to start exploring, I'd like things to do. Once they click this button, it'll open Solvang USA so that they are directed to more information.
And
Again,
we can access those pages and make copy changes and things like that. It's just the top part is hard-coded and not just a template that you can drop in and drop out.
Correct. Once we get the server files from Tempest, we will do our best and try to fix this updated logo, or to put in the new logo. But there will be some troubleshooting, and as Cheryl mentioned, I think we're looking at the viability of this site. It's kind of, think about your computers, you know, when you get a new computer and you pull up Internet Explorer, it might not run because Microsoft actually doesn't manage and update Internet Explorer anymore, and so that's how the back end the site is built on isn't supported anymore. So there's no one fixing it or providing general updates, so it's not relevant and it doesn't necessarily work with all the new browsers and how Google categorizes sites and things. So it requires a lot of hard coding, as Cheryl mentioned. And that was our final update. So, I guess I'll say that landing page you just saw that I scrolled through, Cheryl and I are, you saw that design back in our September meeting. We are updating the copy. As you saw, it's almost final in development. It should be launching early next week, and all ads will go live next week now that we have this workaround.
Thank you.
Of course.
Any comments?
I believe on one of the pages of the test site, it said Dutch culture and not Danish culture, so that's something that should be taken care of before the site goes live.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lift it up a little bit. Did you see it,
Yes.
Cheryl? Oh, okay, you know about it.
Yes.
Oh, never mind.
Yes.
No,
As mentioned, it's not final. This is just a test to see how it interacts, and the copy is being updated. We've been working with Cheryl to do so.
Excellent.
But thank you for pointing that out.
I didn't see that, did I? Okay, any other input, questions from the audience? We'll bring it back, and I guess we'll accept the presentation and carry on.
Perfect.
Discussion of the UFS Subcommittee recommendations for special event program and recommend to the council to approve the program.
We have Lisa here from the Yule Fest committee that will provide an update. And then I have some further ones that have happened this week as well.
Great.
So.
Lisa? Okay.
You wanna come to the mic?
So the Yule Fest, you want me all the way up?
Why
To
not?
the mic.
I can hover in the back just fine. Yule Fest committee was not able to meet on Monday. Too many people unfortunately just couldn't make it. And so basically on our last meeting, we still have a lot of stuff that we need to work on, but we have a really good program. Cheryl put out a really good schedule of events, which I think, did you share that with everybody?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so that basically gives you an overview. Again, just going through, we have the traditional events with the Christmas tree lighting ceremony, and the Yule Fest committee itself, each person has taken on a piece. So each one of us is working on a very specific piece and then reporting back to Cheryl on that piece. So Sue is handling the Christmas tree lighting ceremony. Then on Saturdays, we have a ton of stuff, as always. The first Saturday, the Yule Fest parade. We've got photos with Santa. We've got the jazz band. Of course, the candlelight tours coming from the visitor center. And then roaming carolers throughout the village. Another thing that we can add, we just need to get the dates. The Elver Boy every Saturday does a maker's market through December, so we can add that to our calendar as well. So there's another Saturday event. We have photos with Santa every Saturday and Sunday in the park. Kim is handling the parade, so that will be on the first Saturday. I think I said the Christmas tree lighting is Saturday, it's actually Friday. And then we've adjusted the marketplace. So we are going to do the night market in the park, but because it's the first year that we're doing it, we're gonna do it once. Rather than every Wednesday, we're gonna do it on the first Wednesday. And Amy is in charge of that, and she has a great contact with a group that handles makers markets throughout the valley, and so they're going to coordinate all of that. So that'll be in the park on the first Wednesday rather than each Wednesday. If it goes well, then again, this year's Yule Fest will be able to build off of it, and we can add the night market every Wednesday if that's what works, or get rid of it altogether. Every Friday and Saturday we have the jazz band, we have roaming carolers. On Saturday, December 10th, we have the nativity pageant. And then on Wednesday, December 14th, Parks and Rec does the Holiday Lights Tour. So we'll include that in all of our marketing as well, so that people are aware of it. Of course, every day we'll have the Nice Adventure. Another thing that unfortunately we are struggling to get access to is the Nice website and the QR code that we had. And nobody seems to want to give us access to that either. So that's been a struggle, but because we're used to doing things old school, Sue has all the information she needs to work with Cheryl, and we'll put it together just like we did before we had a QR code and before things were super advanced. So that kind of goes back to an old school, and we can fix it for next year if we need to, but we'll need a little bit more time in order to upgrade that if we're going to do it. And then the light show. So the light show, we are working with Islay Events, so it'll be the light show in the park, and that will be coordinated to music. That's another event that will be every night. And so there will be something, even if you're here on a Monday or Wednesday, to be able to go into the park and enjoy. And that'll be every hour at dusk, about 10 to 15 minute show coordinated with holiday music. And then we are attempting to add holiday music in the gazebo on Wednesday the 21st, so that there is something that week before Christmas, when most events are not happening. So that week before, we would have the Nice Adventure, we would have the music in the park that Wednesday, and then we would have the light show going up through Christmas Eve. And I think we were gonna do the light show through probably New Year's Day as well.
Is that just once a night, or is it every hour?
It's every hour,
Okay.
starting at dusk
Right.
until 9 p.m.
Great.
And it lasts about 10 to 15 minutes, so people will be encouraged to come out to the park and just enjoy the show and the music.
Great.
That's it. At this point, we are meeting weekly until we get everything finalized and we can confirm each specific event. The other thing that we are working on is decor, and I think that's our biggest issue right now, is updating some of the decor throughout town so that it looks Christmassy, whether it's daytime or night. We count on the lights to give it that festive feel, but we need it to feel just as festive during the day. Rather than doing wreaths on all the light poles, we've looked at doing a spray that'll actually wrap around with a bow, and then we can still do the Yule Fest banner that hangs off the side announcing Yule Fest. So we're gonna change that up a little bit.
Anybody have any questions for Lisa, or comments?
Looks great. I
Yeah,
like
no,
it.
sounds good.
Great job, Lisa.
Anybody out in the?
We've got a great
One-
team.
Yeah.
We have a really great team
Good.
of really passionate people who are committed to making this really special. So
Great,
that's awesome.
thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Did you ask public for input?
I looked around
Oh, okay.
and nobody jumped, so I gave them a nod. Receive the marketing manager's report and monthly comment.
So are you able to, okay, so let me, so it's my first meeting as the marketing manager for the TAC, so I wasn't really sure what to share with you, but I thought I would just give some insight on what I've been working on the past month. So one of the things that I love doing, working for Destination, is really the development and getting leads in for, group business and activities. So even in a short amount of time, I was excited that, this is the wrong button, I'm sorry. Let me do that this way. Sorry about that. So it probably won't be full screen.
Last page.
That was, I changed it. I guess I could pull it from the folder. I don't think this can be seen okay. So we had a Day Tripper Tours. They are currently do an ongoing bus day trip from Orange County. They stop in Santa Barbara for lunch, and I'm working with her to convince her to now make it into Solvang. And then we had a lead for 2024, 400 people, so a couple of the hotels here in Solvang were able to put proposals in. Being new to this role, I've been trying to hit the ground running and getting site visits of all the hotels, understand the product of what we're selling, and get a feel for each vibe that these awesome, unique hotels have, because they're all kind of different and fun. I had a great visit with Bent Olsen and Vivian from the Danish Village Bakery as well. So making my way around and trying to get to know people in town. I attended the Visit San Ynez annual meeting, the first week I actually start. I met with them very quickly. Also, we just had a quick coffee, very high level, just talk, just knowing that there's collaboration that we both want to be doing. Definitely want to keep the communications open with them so we can divide and conquer, or not duplicate efforts in our marketing strategies. Westways Magazine is AAA's for Southern California. I guess in years previous, San Ynez Valley, Buellton, and Solvang have always done a co-op. So we met with the rep and just to talk about 2023 strategy and what that would look like. I was able to attend the DMA West Educational Conference, which stands for Destination Marketing Associations of the West. That's where I was able to meet with the website vendor and said, you need to stop giving us the runaround and please help me. So that FaceTime was good. Also learned some new strategies since the database that I'm kind of inheriting from the CDB is very dated. So what's the best way to handle that for email strategy? Other business events, so YuleFest has definitely consumed my time, especially this week. I still don't really have a contract yet with an AV company, so because I felt a little bit of a runaround from that LG production, I have reached out to 2 others, so I'm hoping to have 2 more bids come Monday. So once those really get nailed down, those big items, then we can start kind of budgeting out the smaller ones. But I had lunch with a potential Santa, and he's great, so that was fun to say I had a meeting with Santa Claus. So thank you, Tracy, for that concept.
Is that Mike?
Yes.
At the North Pole?
What's up?
At the North
No,
Pole?
he only came from
And
Buellton.
he's got a real beard, and he's been doing this for 20 years. He's got 2 different outfits. He has a Mrs. Claus that comes and joins him.
Oh, great,
They
yeah.
have a Cadillac if they want to do the parade. So he is like ecstatic. So,
And, you know.
and he's
Kenny-
affordable.
Kenny also has the sled, doesn't he?
And that's what
Yeah.
I've heard. I need to speak with him about the
Yeah.
parade, so there's not
Yeah.
2 Santas roaming around the same time. So
Yeah.
yes, it's on my radar.
Oh, good, good.
Yeah.
Kenny,
But if
Kenny
you
has a
see
lot of
him,
that
tell him to
stuff.
call me back.
Yeah,
It was
I will.
Mike Lopez it was. It was Mike Lopez you're gonna hire, right?
Yes, yeah. I mean,
That's the Mike Lopez I know.
Yes, it is.
No,
It's a Santa Claus?
Yeah.
Yes, I don't
I've seen
know.
pictures. It's
no.
I don't know this Santa,
it's
that's not the
Well, there's a
Lopez I
few
know,
in
we
town.
know.
No,
Okay.
it's another mark.
And then just some of the others items that really been just kind of, it's been a lot of roadblocks and trying to detangle some webs and connect dots. But was finally able to get into the CRM system that the CVB had. So was able to get that. I've been able to make updates finally to the website. I know not having events on the event page was an issue. We have events now. So I'm hoping this next couple of weeks to send out an email to the businesses to say you can now post events. Things are coming, let's get them on the calendar. So, and then I met with Sue, we've talked, so the YuleFest and the Nisi Adventure website, again, been getting the runarounds. So I'm just now kind of dealing with Squarespace, which is not easy, but to either take it down or figure out who's paying the bill, because no one's giving me answers. So trying to work on that.
So they need a bill paid for the NISA website? Is
I
that
mean,
what you-
someone's paid turn it on, right? But it probably has a year contract, so I don't know if it's gonna, I don't know, I'm trying to.
Disappear. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
so, but it has like wrong dates on it and it doesn't have the year, so it's really kind of bothersome to me. So I'm trying to figure out what we can do to remedy that.
Have you contacted Scott from IDK?
He is, I get the silent treatment.
Do you?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
I'll try and call it.
I have tried many times.
All
So
right.
any help, I would love.
Deal.
Thank you. And then another, no one really seemed to know what City of Solvang owned for holiday decor. So I went out to the barn and did an inventory. So kind of know what we're dealing with. And in my opinion, like Lisa said, I feel like the city should have a little bit more. And I know there was some stuff that kind of got passed along in years past. So I'm hoping as years come, we can build on that decor a little bit each year. So yeah. But that's what I've got. So any questions, comments, feedback?
Great, thank you, Cheryl, for doing that. Keep up the good work.
Can I ask
you
on the
may-
buses, who are you dealing with down in Orange County? Can I ask that?
It was the specific company called daytrippers.com. The contact was Myron. I can't recall the last name of this.
So you're
one.
gonna start doing buses then now?
I haven't really had the time to be reactive. This was actually a lead that I found through the website once I had access, so they had submitted information. So she had just told me they're currently going to Santa Barbara. What are the options in Solvang? So
Okay, because we had 17 buses come here over the Danish Day weekend from Good Times.
I saw them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we've been
I-
bringing,
yeah.
so I don't know if you wanna, we can pass that on, but we've been meeting the buses out there with maps and coupons.
That's great.
For the chamber, and then we have cruise ships coming. They started on 10/3, so are you meeting the cruise ships at all down there? Are
That
you
is not on my radar.
Okay, because we have cruise ships coming, we have 9 coming in, this month of October, and we have 5 coming in November, cruise ships that will stop and come up here for 6 hours.
Great. Anything I can help to support, let me know.
Can you meet them out there, or do you want us meeting them out there
No,
still, or who's?
Let's meet and discuss it and divide and conquer.
Okay,
There you go.
thank you.
Thank you.
Any more comments from the committee?
Well, I think Fuel Fest, I'm really excited about it. Looks great.
Yeah,
Great schedule. And I'm happy to see it happen.
Yeah, excited for Yule Fest. I think the designs are great. I know there's some minor changes, but I'm excited to see how those look. I think this report is great, Cheryl. I think the inventory, I know it's a small thing, but great to see the little detail with everything, so I appreciate that.
Thank you.
But yeah, that's it.
Great board, Cheryl.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, again, I'd like to welcome aboard the 2 new members and enjoy your
Thank you.
stay with us. So, you have any comments, by the way, for anything?
No, I think it
First
was,
trip.
it was good.
Good.
Educational.
I try to run a pretty clean, quick ship if I can, so we'll keep the
You
meetings.
did a good job.
Yeah, thank you. Let's see, there's nothing about public comment. Now, city staff, you guys have any more to say? Anna Marie?
No comment.
Are you city staff too, aren't you?
I'm here to learn.
Okay. Well, okay, then, if nothing else needs to be said, I'll adjourn the meeting.
See the time?
4:18.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you.